Today we are at MRT and we are filming another Ford Bronco. I just can't get enough of these things. This is a customer's car and it has their trail turn down axle back system. So they basically just deleted the factory suitcase muffler and put this in there, and you can see it's cut off pretty high so it doesn't impede on your departure angle when you're off-roading. If you look from the back here, you can just kind of see the tip sticking out below the steel bumper and the tiny little resonator back there. But it's a small, easy to install system, and I'm excited to get some audio clips on this because I haven't driven a Bronco with a modified exhaust yet, just all factory stock Broncos. You can see that the owner Rob has put some pretty tasteful modifications on this Bronco. This is a four-door Badlands Sasquatch, pretty ideal spec with a hardtop. We've got a light bar on the front, color-matched beadlock wheels. He wheels this thing too, so he has some fun off-road. The red and white Bronco letters look pretty cool too. And we've got the red painted D-shackles. Very neat. We've done a bunch of Bronco videos, so I won't bore you too much with details, but I really love these trucks. They are just so much fun to drive. Great daily drivers, super capable on the trail. And we also have a Land Rover Defender this week. Just a little bit more fun to drive. Between the Defender, the Wrangler, and the Bronco, I think the Bronco is the most fun to drive. It's a little more athletic on the street, a little bit better road manners, not as soft and cushy and comfortable and luxurious as a Defender, but honestly, it's not far off. All right, let's throw some sound clips of this exhaust in and see what it sounds like. We've got binaural audio recording today, so if you want to get a really good idea of what this exhaust sounds like, listen with headphones. But otherwise, let's just take this for a drive and see how it is. You can see MRT has a lot of fun stuff. Hopefully we'll get to test some of their Mustangs and Corvettes when things warm up this year. But for now, let's take this Bronco for a drive and see what it's like. Yeah, sounds pretty good. From the factory, this Bronco exhaust is pretty much silent, and it's nice to have a little bit of extra tone to, especially if your Bronco looks like this, you want it to sound good. But you don't want it to drone, and you want a little bit more performance out of your exhaust. Great power from this 270 EcoBoost. Love the tuning that Ford did with the 10-speed auto as well. Got a bunch of different drive modes. Normal, eco, slippery. It's a little bit slippery out today. Puts us in 4 auto. Sounds good on downshifts. One thing I am missing from these Broncos is a set of paddle shifters behind the wheel. Yeah, on first impressions, this MRT exhaust sounds great. It's quiet and subdued and toned down when you're just cruising, but when you get onto it, it sounds pretty aggressive, especially from the outside. No drone on the inside, even on the highway. We just did a winding road POV test drive and took it up to about 60, 70, 80 miles an hour, cruising, and you know it's there, but it's not distracting, or it's kind of hard to hear, honestly, over all the wind and tire noise from this Sasquatch. So little under bridge pull. Nice Fiat 500 Abarth. Let's throw us into Baja mode. keep us in too high. There we go. The owner of this Bronco hasn't yet gotten around to performing the service bulletins, the TSBs on the hardtop rattles, but that is something apparently you can fix at the dealer. Some of those screech rattles. Throw some felt in there and get rid of those rattles, which is great. A lot of air being pushed. This is Baja mode. Nice. Yeah, it's just a step up from the factory exhaust, which is mostly just piped in sound from, I don't know, the speakers. See how it is on the highway. Cruising 70 miles an hour. Pretty good. Can't complain about that. No drone. Yeah, definitely a more mature exhaust setup, which I appreciate. Super easy to install too. It's just an axle back, so you clamp on to the factory mounting point. Has factory hanger locations. Don't really hear much over all the wind noise. This is also an early build factory hardtop, so maybe not completely sealed as well as some of the newer 2022 Broncos are. Boy, this Sasquatch Badlands package is just kind of the ideal Bronco. There's so many different trims, but I would say if you're an enthusiast and if you want the most off-road capability, the best looking Bronco, this is just kind of the good go-to. Get this in manual now for 2022, which is great. The suspension on the Sasquatch pack is just a little bit softer. It's really well tuned to the larger diameter 35-inch tires. Slightly wider fenders in this package too. Different gearing. It all just makes for a really nice overall driving experience. Still feels nimble, doesn't feel over encumbered by the larger wheel and tire. Handles well. You're going to take a little bit of a hit in fuel economy, but honestly, for how off-road capable this is, it's not too bad. And the power from the 2.7 EcoBoost, just about right. This 2.7's a little bit throatier and lower when you open things up than I thought it would be. It sounds good. I think it suits the character of this Bronco really well. This feels like something that would sound really cool while you're off-roading. You're bombing up Test Hill at the sand dunes in Silver Lake. Yeah, this would sound proper. I haven't spent a lot of time with the 2.7 EcoBoost Broncos. I've mostly been driving the 4-cylinder 2.3s. And just that little extra amount of power, that extra torque is very satisfying in the V6. It matches this car well. It's tuned very nicely with the 10-speed auto. It's one of the few cars that I would kind of have some trouble choosing between the automatic and the manual. All the powertrains, I think, have their merits, have their place. I really like driving the 7-speed manual Broncos, and there's plenty of power even on the 4-door with that 2.3 EcoBoost. But this 2.7 definitely cranks things up a few notches, which is nice. But the difference isn't as big as you would think it is. Alright guys, well, props to MRT for inviting me out, and Rob, the owner, for letting me have a go in his Bronco. I think this is a really nice truck. He's done a great job with some subtle, tasteful modifications here. The exhaust sounds great. It matches the character of the vehicle really well. It's not too drony, it's not too obnoxious or loud. It's a mature exhaust for the discerning enthusiast, and I appreciate that. I like that they have factored in the idea that people will want to off-road and do some trail driving in their Broncos with this exhaust, so you don't have a muffler tip that's sticking out. The trail turn down is probably what I would go with if I had a Bronco, just to get that extra off-road capability and not limit my departure angle. Yeah, and I just can't get enough of driving these Broncos. They're just so much fun. I might have to get one of these someday. This and a BRZ might just be the perfect two-car garage for me personally. They're just super fun, super enjoyable, a lot of character, and not a lot of new cars with this much character anymore. It manages to be comfortable, practical. Maybe once Ford can figure out all the rattles, that's really my only gripe with these Broncos. They just are a little bit loud on the inside. But the fact that you can pull everything off, make it a convertible, pull all the doors off and side panels, I think is worth it. Kind of makes up for the fact that, oh, well, you know, there's a little bit more NVH in this than your normal car. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. You have a Bronco and you're interested in an aftermarket exhaust, check out MRT. They do some good work. I'm impressed. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Take it easy.